Okay. So in this session, we will go with SIB block. SIB block in Java. What is SIB block? As we know, we have seen in last session IIB block in Java. So in this session, we will go with SIB block. So SIB is nothing but static initializer block. Okay, static. So instantiation block or initializer block. So this is called SIB. Okay, SIB. What are the application of SIB block? Where to create SIB block? When to execute SIB block? So all these things we will learn in this session. So what is the syntax? Syntax to declare SIB block. The syntax is simply just use static keyword followed by opening and closing curly bracket. And here within this area we will write logics. So we'll write business logics here. Business logics within this area. So this is the starting and ending. And when the SIB block logics will get executed. So you know this SIB block logics will get executed when the .class file will get generated. Actually, don't speak over me. If you have any doubt, let me know. Okay. So this is the syntax for static block. So you know when the static block logics will get executed, the static block logics will get executed when the .class file will get generated. .class file will get generated. So when the .class file will get generated, when you compile your Java application, during that compilation time, the .class file will get generated. Okay. So what happened exactly the .class file generation? Actually, your bytecode. Okay, this whatever you are writing the code, that is a bytecode. Okay, your system doesn't understand this string format code. Okay, your system understands binary. So this bytecode will get convert into memory during compilation time. Okay, when the bytecode will get converted into memory, during that time your static block logics will get executed. You know, we compile the Java application only once. Okay, during that time only the static block logics will get executed. Okay, the static block logics will get executed only once in the compilation time. So let's see what are the application of this static block. The application of this static block is first application is what? Application of static block. The first application of static block is to write business logic, and those logics will get execute during what? Compilation time, or you mean during compilation time, or you can say that during .class file get generated. Okay, and the second one is what? We can initialize static variable during compilation time. So compilation time, we use constructor to initialize instance variable in last session, as well as we use instance block, IID block, to initialize instance variable. Similarly, we can use this static block to initialize static variable during compilation time. Actually, where we should have to create the static variable, we will create the static variable within the class. So this is my class. Let us suppose we have a class test. Within this class, I will declare this block. This is static block. So within the class area only we will declare this static block. So these are the two application of static block, and this is the syntax for static block. And what is the use of static block? The use of static block is what? Just to write a business logic and to initialize static variable during compilation time. Okay, is it clear up to that? Any doubt? So we'll go practically also. Am I clear up to? Sandeep? Okay, let's go practically. Actually, this is the class. Within the class, we can declare the static block, and within this static block, we can write the some business logic. So let me go with practical. Click on this file, go to new, click on this Java. The moment you will click on this Java, it will create a this, you will generate this type. So I will take class name as test1. So test1 is the class name, and this is the main method. And you should have to know that always your execution will start at main method. This is the main method. Before going to start any block, like before going to start anything, your main method logic will get executed first. So I will say main method logic. Okay, this is the main method logic. When you save this application, let me save. So always save this application with the class name. What is the class name? The same name you should have to save this application. So the application I will save text of. So we have Java practice folder. Let it be Java practice folder. Within this Java practice folder, here only I will save. What is the application name? Test1. And the extension should be Java. It will automatically take. Click on yes. So test1.java. You see, when you compile this application and when you run this application, so main method logic will get executed. So let me compile and run. So what will happen when you compile this application? One dot plus file will get generated. Let me show you how the dot plus file will get generated. And we don't have any static block as of now. Do we have any static block within this class? No, we don't have any static block. Just go to the location where you have saved this file. Just use Control O to go to that location. So within this file handling might be. So no, just only on Java practice only we have saved that application. So what is the application name? You see test1.java. So just here, just type cmd and hit on enter. The moment you type cmd and hit on enter, it will open this window. Now you see guys, in this small window, we don't have any dot plus file. In this small window, we don't have any test1.class file. So we have a Java file. We have a Java file. For this test, we have a dot plus file. So you may see for this test, we have a dot plus file. This is the text document. This is the test. So if you want to expand this, so for this text employee.class, we have an employee class already. Last session we have compiled. Let me show you how to generate a dot class file for test1. So just to compile this file, just use Java C test1.java. The moment you will compile this file, so one dot class file will get generated to the location where you saved this Java file. So just let's see. Yeah, it's compiled. And let me check, is there any test1.java? You see, we have generated a one dot plus file. Here the dot plus file will got generated. So just we generated a one dot plus file. You can see this is the dot plus file got generated. So data and time is also there. Class file. This is called class file. So during this class file generation, if there is any static block within the class, the static block will get executed. Actually, first it will load. When you compile the Java application, first your application will get load. And when you run your Java application, let me run Java test1. Application name is test1. When you run your Java application, your execution will start at main method. When you start your execution, if there will be any static block, the static block will get executed first. As of now, in this class, we don't have any static block. That is what only the logic got executed for main method. You see, main method logic. Let me create a static block. We create a static block within the class area. Anywhere you can create. This is the class area. So within this class area, we have created this static block. So to display the output to the console, just I will write system.out.println. This is the statement to display some message to the console. I will say this is SID block. So this is the SID block. You see, before going to start your execution will always start at main method. As we are saying, our execution will always start at main method. Before going to start execution, so first of all, when you compile the Java application, so the application will get load. All the application will get load during compilation time. The static block will get load during compilation time. When the execution will get start, before going to execute this main method, the static block logics will get executed first. So whatever static block you will keep within the class, the static block logics will get executed first. So let me compile first. During compilation time, all this will get load. Static block logics will get load. How to compile? Just use Java C command application name.java. Test1 is the application name. So that application name will be used. And to run this, just use Java application name test. So let me show actually. I didn't show this. Control S. Again compile and run. Compile this and then run. Now you see. So before going to start main method, you see SIB block logic got executed first and then the main method. What is the output you are getting? Observe carefully. The output you are getting, SIB block logic executed first, SIB block logic and then main method. You got it? So actually, when you compile the Java application, what happens? So dot class file will get generated. During dot class file generation, the static block will get load, and when the execution will get start at main method. Before going to start execution at main method, this block logics will get executed, and then the main method logics will start executing. Am I clear? So right here, when you compile the Java application, when you compile the Java file, during that time, when you compile the Java file, during that time, static block will get load, and during runtime, before going to start execution at main method, first static block logic will get execute, and then main method will be start. Am I clear? Am I clear with this? So when you compile the Java file, during that time, static block will get load, and during runtime, before going to start execution at main method, a static block logics will get executed. And then main method logics, and then main method will be start. Write down this application for that. So we have developed this application. Write down this one. So in the next example, we'll see in the next so what if we will keep constructor and we'll keep instance block also. What is the syntax for instance block? Just opening and closing parentheses like this. This is called instance block. So we call IID block 01. So this is IID block. I will see just IID block 01. So when the instance block will get executed, as we know that instance block will get executed during object creation when you create object. As well as if you keep constructor also, the rules for constructor is what constructor name and class name of this way. What is the class name here? Class name is what test1. The constructor name should be test1. And here we'll write, this is my user defined zero argument constructor. This is what? Just we'll write some dummy logic. User defined zero a constructor. Okay, this is user defined zero a constructor. So guys, you know, when the static block will get executed before going to start main method. So when you start the execution before going to start main method, first static block will get executed, then execution will start at main method. Let's suppose this is main method. I will say main method started here. So the moment you create object, this is the object creation statement. New followed by class name. This is the nameless object. I will create name. This is nameless object. The moment you will write this statement, so first execution will start at main method. Then after that, it will check is there any next statement. Yes, we have a new test of. This is the object. So this is nameless object. So the moment you will write this statement, one object will get created. This object doesn't have any name. So first it will check is there any instance block. Yes, we have a one instance block. This instance block logic will get executed. And then after that, it will check is there any constructor, which is what zero argument. Yes, then this constructor will get executed. So always remember that your execution, like static block logic execution, instance block logic execution, and the constructor block logic execution, all are different. Constructor logic and static block logic, okay, instance block logic depends on object creation, but there is a one slight difference between them. This execution, constructor logic execution, and instance block logic execution. We have seen in instance block that difference. Okay, but here we will see what will be the output for this application. The output is what? Very first SIB will get executed, then IIB will get executed, and then constructor, then zero or user defined constructor. But you see this IIB and SIB, this IIB execution and constructor execution, this will be executed when the main method, like within the main method you created a object, then the main method will get started. First this will get start, SIB will get executed, then after that main method will get start. The moment main method will get start, so main method logic will get executed, then after that object will get created. The moment you create object, IIB, okay, IIB and constructor will get executed, and then after that whatever statement you have written after that object creation, that statement will get executed, and finally the execution will stop at main method, and the execution will start at main method. So always remember that execution will start at main method and stop at main method. So if you compile this, so let me compile this application. So how to compile? Just use Java C application name.java, and to run this application, just use Java test. You see, SIB block logic got executed first, then main method started, object created. During object creation, IIB block logic get executed, then user defined zero hour constructor, and then main method logic. Am I clear? So always remember that how the execution is started and when the execution will get stopped. So like that. Just write down. So here is the notes we are writing here. So just write down. We can keep IIB block constructor, and SIB block within the class. But then very first SIB block execute, and after that main method logic start. So that main method logic start. When you start the main method logic, then only you can able to create object. Okay, and during that object creation, that particular instance block, that particular constructor, they will get executed. So actually, for every object creation, instance block logics will get executed, and for that corresponding object creation, that corresponding constructor will get executed. So that difference I had already explained in IAB block. So write down this application. For that, here the application. So we can keep static block as well as instance block and constructor within the class. So before main method execution, your static block logic get executed. So the next question will arise here. What is the question? I will explain it in next example. Now you can see in this example. So we have a static block, we have an instance block, as well as we have a constructor. Let's see. Now I will remove this, and you just tell me. Before going to start main method, what executing? Static block logic got executing. Yes or no? So is it mandatory to keep main method to execute static block logic? Is it mandatory to keep main method? Actually, before main method, static block logic got executed. So is it mandatory to keep main method within the class to execute static block logic? So you can see. I will come back. Actually, guys, to execute a static block logic, main method is mandatory to keep within the class. If you are writing logics within the main method or not, it's not important. But the main method should be available within the class to execute a static block logic. Actually, from JDK 1.5 version onward, okay. So the JDK in 1.5 version onward. So from 1.6 version. So from 1.6 version onward, to execute a static block logic, main method is mandatory to keep within the class. Without main method, we can't able to execute the static block logic. We can able to compile your Java file. Without main method. But your execution will start from main method. So, but to execute static block logic, main method should be there within the class. So actually currently I am using JDK 1.8 version. So this is greater than 1.5. Okay, this is the latest version. The latest is what 1.14 or something, but I am using 1.8. So to execute the static block logic from 1.6 version onward, main method should be available there. But if you are using JDK 1.4 or below 1.5, so it's not mandatory to keep main method to execute a static block logic. So let me execute this and let me compile this, and what will happen, we'll see. So actually this is the JDK 1.8. In JDK 1.8, if I will compile this application, how to compile like this, then I will compile this application. So when you compile it, it will get compiled, and when you try to run it, so you will get error. What error you will get? This one. So error, main method not found in class test1. Please define the main method as public static void, like this. So actually, let me save this, and once again I will run. So it has to compile it. And run it. Again it's saying error, main method not found. So to execute a static block logic, from JDK version 1.5 version or 1.5 version onward, so the main method should be there within the class. Without main method, static block logic won't get executed. But if you have a JDK version 1.4 or something, or 1.5 or below 1.5, so we can able to execute your logics without main method. Okay, this is the next rule. Just write down. So mandatory to keep. So mandatory to keep. You're writing now. Mandatory to keep main method within the class. Mandatory to keep main method within the class to execute static block logic. to execute static block logic from JDK version 1.5 onward. 1.5 onward. Okay. To execute a static block logic without main method, we should have to use JDK version. Below 1.5. Like we can go for 1.4, 1.3 or 1.2 or 1.0. So if you go for any version below 1.5, you can able to execute static block logic without main method. Write this example. One point is here, one tricky question here. Let's suppose we have another class, and that another class doesn't having any main method. So without main method, can you able to execute? You can say we can able to execute static block logic without main method, but static block of another class. Let's suppose if you want to execute, this is your class. Let's suppose this I have a class A, and within this class A you have a static block. You have some static block. How to declare static block? Just create static block, and this I will say this is class A static block. So this class A doesn't having a main method, but you want to execute this class A static block. This is your class A SID block. This is your class A SID block. Observe carefully. So one question is here. Can you able to execute this class A static block without main method? No. From this class A, you can't able to execute this static block without main method. But this static block you can able to execute from another static block, from another class or from another static block. So this is what your class test class is there, and we can keep main method. So let me take, to execute same class static block, you should have to keep main method within the class. Public. So the main method should be like this. So this is main method. So I'm not going to write any logic within the main method. So to execute the same class static block logic, main method should be there. But to execute the other class static block, so we don't require any main method in other class. So how to execute? So we have a one class, guys. We have a one class, and that class having a one method. What is the class name? We have a class name is what? Class, and this class having a one method. The method name is what? For name method. By using this for name method, we can call another class static block. So for example, if you want to call class A static block, just use class dot for name. This is the class dot for name method, and just here just use where exactly this class is available. Just pass that class. Okay, just pass that class. So if that class is available in other package, just package name dot class name. Where this class is available, what is the class name? Class name is what? A. If this class is available in another package, just use package name dot class name. But we are not having any package in this, so we are having a only class. Just in current folder we are using. Just pass the class name. So class dot for name method is the way to call another class static block. So what's the static block? Class A static block. And whenever you will compile this, during compilation time, so this statement, line number 9 will throws a one exception, class not found exception. You should have to handle that exception. So let me save this and we'll compile it, and let me check, is it really throws a one exception? during compilation time. The exception name is what? Class not found exception. When you compile this application. Just hit on enter. So when you compile this at Java line number 9, as I told you, so throwing a error unreported exception, class not found exception. So you should have to call this exception, or you should have to handle this exception. At this line, we are getting this exception. Okay, this statement generating a one exception, unreported exception, class not found exception. What we will handle? So there are a multiple ways to handle this exception. What I will do, I will throw this exception to the main method. So when I will throw this exception to the main method, so the main method will handle this exception. What is the exception name? Exception name is what? Class not found exception. Okay, and just import this exception. This is whatever from which package this exception coming. Java dot might be. So let me check from which package it's coming. Class not found exception. Okay, let me handle, and let's compile this. So to compile this, again go to the command prompt. Let me clear previous one. Just use javac test.java. Now it's compiled fine. Let me run Java test. The moment you will run it, so you see static block of test class as well as static block of class A also got executed. So like that we can able to execute other class static block. So in interviewer will ask you, can you able to execute logics without main method? Yes, we can able to execute logics without main method. So how to execute? So we can keep those logics within the static block. But to call any class static block logic from another class, we will use this for name method of class. For name method of class. Am I clear here? Okay. Just write down note. We can execute another class static block logic. We can execute another class static block logic by using for name method. By using for name method. By using for name method. So this is the static block calling statement. This statement is what, guys? Static block calling statement. If you write this statement here also, when this block will get started, static block will get started of this same class. So this same class static block logic will get executed. The moment you will write this statement, it will invoke this class. Class is static block. So let me compile this and I will show you. Then after that we'll write the logic, the note for that. So to compile it, just use. So how many times the class is static block logic will get executed? So actually you see unreported exception. So class.forName at line number something, Java line number 5. Here we are getting that exception. To handle this exception, we can throw to the to this block, or else we'll handle by using try catch. So here I will handle by using try catch. Control X, keep this risky code within this, and just throw this exception to this. It will create an exception object. That exception part we will see in later. So in exception chapter, let me compile once again. And just run it. And observe carefully, actually, static block 1 and class A SID block. Actually, it's executed only once. You are using this class.forName here also, but it's got executed after this. Like first this static block logic got executed. Here it can't execute. Like this statement is not executing here within the static block. But when you start the main method, from here it starts executing this class. static block. Actually, if you want to execute static block, we can't write like within this. To execute a static block, we can execute from main method by using for name method. So observe carefully. So write down note here. We can execute static block logic of another class. Static block logic of another class by using for name method. By using for name method. If another class doesn't have a main method, okay, in note write down, in note, what note? To execute a same class static block logic main method is mandatory. Whereas to execute other class static block logic, main method is optional. We can call another class static block by using class dot for name method. So actually this for name method will accept one argument. Okay. For name method will accept an argument. For name method will accept an argument of that class whose static block you want to execute. I hope you get it. So write this note and then after that write this example. Okay. Let's go for next concept. Can we able to keep multiple static block within the class? Not an issue. We can able to keep. So to execute a same class static block logic, the main method should be there. Okay. So to execute a same class static block logic, main method should be there. You see, let me keep multiple static block. The next concept is what? Can we able to keep multiple static block? So yes, we can able to keep multiple static block within the data. So this is the static block, first static block. This is second static block. Let me write only. So this is first static block. Let me write one more static block. So to declare static block, we can write this. We can able to keep multiple static blocks within the class, not an issue. But those static blocks will get executed from top to bottom. In what order you will keep? So this is SIB block 02. So this is the second SIB block. In what order you will keep this static block? In those order they will get executed. So within the class, from top to bottom they will get executed. So to execute same class static block logic, so main method should be there. I will just keep main method and I'm not going to write anything within the main method, just as a blank one. So let me compile this, save this application as well as compile. So just to compile this application, just use Java C. What is the application name? Test1.java. So this is the application name. It will compile, and to run it, just use Java test1. You see, static block 1 and static block 2. Let me keep this static block 2 as a top one. Then which one will get executed first? The top one logic will get executed first. Top one static block will get executed first. Who is this top logic? Static block 2. Static block 02 is the first within the class. So first compile it and run. You see, SIB block 02 got executed and then SIB block 01. So got it? How the execution will, how the static block got executed? The static block will get executed from top to bottom. You can able to keep multiple static blocks within the class. So just write down, we can keep multiple static block within the class. The execution will be from top to bottom. Only once. Always remember that. Only once. So doing compilation time. Only one period. Compilation time or before main method, or you can say just before main method start. Am I clear? So up to that we have used static block to initialize to execute the business logic. So how to use static block to initialize static variable during compilation time? So you know guys, like static variable, static, I will say this is my, let's suppose this is employee class, and this is having some employee name I want to initialize during compilation time by using static block. So I have a static, so then employee ID is there, as well as static I will take, instead of float I will take in floating point float value. So instead of, static members of the class will get initialized only once. All the static variables, static method will get initialized only once when you compile your Java file. So during compilation time only, we want to initialize this static variable and all the static variable. How to initialize? Simply, what is the employee name? You can, when the static block got executed, during that time you can initialize. So like employee name, let's suppose Vasant. Vasant is the employee name, and the employee ID for the Vasant is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. This is the employee ID. And employee salary for the Vasant is, we'll writing some floating value. Okay, so double value, 20 point something. This is the employee salary. So when this block will get executed before main method, this block will get executed. When this block will get executed, it will initialize this value to the static variable. So to display this value, we can use static method. So to call this static method, first of all, you should have to start your execution from main. So public static, I will say this is my this method, which we will use to display those data. So employee ID, employee name, and employee salary. Hey, Hall, can you hear me? Actually, my Bluetooth battery is low. So this is the last example. We'll cover this one. So can you able to hear me? Confirm, please. Yes, sorry. Wait. So actually, the Bluetooth battery low. You see. So this is the static variable. We'll initialize the static variable during this static block got executed, and those variable will display. So what is the employee name, what is the employee ID, and employee salary. We can call static members of the class directly with variable name also. Here we call directly. So to execute this dist method, this is the employee. Class name is what? Employee dot dist method. So actually like that we can use static block to initialize static variable during compilation time. So to compile this application, just use Java C. Application name is what? Test1.java. And to run this application, what is the class name? Employee. Class name is what? Employee. Just run with class name. And to run this, just use Java. What is the class name? Employee. And observe carefully. You see, employee name is Vasant, employee ID is some employee ID, and employee salary. So actually, what happened? We are using this static block here to initialize this instance variable. Before going to start your main method, the static block logic will get executed and it will initialize some static variable. And when you start your main method and you call this dist method, actually those variable will get initialized. You can able to use those variables throughout the class anywhere. So like that also we will use static block to initialize static variable during compilation time. Okay, just write down notes for that. We can use static block. We can use static block. We can use static block to initialize static variable during compilation time. During compilation time, we can use static block to initialize static variable during compilation time. The example is what in front of you. Just write down this example.